Let me tell you something that might sting a little, but it's the truth, and the truth has a way of setting you free. If he wanted you, you'd know it, not guess it, not overthink it at 2 a.m., not sit there analyzing texts with your friends, trying to decode what he really meant. You wouldn't be stuck in confusion, wondering where you stand, questioning your worth, or trying to convince yourself that mixed signals mean something deeper. Clarity is one of the most powerful forms of respect someone can give you. When a person is truly interested in you, they don't leave you stuck in a cycle of confusion. They don't make you question where you stand or force you to read between the lines of their behavior. Instead, they show up in a way that makes their intentions clear, steady, and undeniable. You don't have to chase clarity when it's real because it naturally reveals itself through consistent actions and honest communication. Confusion, on the other hand, is often a sign that something is off. It's that uneasy feeling you get when words and actions don't match, when promises are made but not kept, when attention comes and goes without explanation. It creates emotional instability, where one moment you feel valued and the next you feel invisible. That emotional roller coaster is not love, it's uncertainty, and uncertainty slowly drains your confidence and peace of mind. Many people try to justify confusion because they're afraid to face what it might mean. They tell themselves stories to make the situation easier to accept. Maybe he's busy, maybe he's stressed, maybe he's just not good at expressing his feelings. But deep down, there's a voice inside you that recognizes the truth. Real interest doesn't need excuses. When someone genuinely wants to be in your life, they make space for you, not confusion around you. Clarity doesn't require perfection, but it does require effort and intention. It shows up in simple ways: consistent communication, keeping promises, making time, and being emotionally present. It's not about grand gestures or dramatic declarations, but about the steady reassurance that you matter. You feel secure not because you're constantly seeking validation, but because their behavior already provides it. When you start valuing clarity, you stop tolerating anything less. You begin to recognize that confusion is not something to fix, but something to walk away from. You understand that your time and energy are too valuable to be spent decoding someone else's mixed signals. And most importantly, you realize that you deserve a connection where you feel certain, not doubtful, where you feel chosen, not questioned, where you feel peace instead of pressure. Effort is the clearest window into someone's true intentions. People can say anything. They can promise, they can compliment, they can make you feel special in a moment. But words without consistent action are empty. What truly defines how someone feels about you is what they do, not what they say they might do someday. Effort is not complicated, and it's not something that needs to be forced. When it's real, it shows up naturally, without excuses or hesitation. When someone genuinely wants you in their life, they prioritize you. They make time even when life is busy. They check on you, not because they have to, but because they want to. They find ways to stay connected to make you feel seen, valued, and important. You won't feel like you're the only one trying to keep things alive because their effort meets yours. It becomes a mutual exchange, not a one-sided struggle. A lack of effort often hides behind comfortable excuses. People say they're too busy, too tired, or not ready. But the truth is, we all make time for what matters to us. Effort doesn't always mean grand gestures or constant attention. It means consistency. It means showing up in small, meaningful ways again and again. Sending a message, making a call, keeping a promise, remembering the little things about you. These are not big demands. They are basic signs of genuine interest. When effort is missing, it creates imbalance. You start overcompensating, trying harder, giving more, hoping that your energy will inspire theirs. But real connection doesn't work like that. You cannot earn someone's effort by exhausting yourself. If anything, the more you chase, the more you lose your sense of worth because you begin to accept less than you deserve. Effort also reflects respect. When someone puts in the time and energy, it shows that they value not only you, but also the connection you share. It shows that they are willing to invest in something meaningful rather than keeping it casual or convenient. And when that effort is consistent, it builds trust because you no longer have to question their intentions. You can see them clearly through their actions. At some point, you have to stop listening to potential and start paying attention to patterns, because patterns never lie. If someone truly wants you, their effort will make it obvious. Not confusing, not inconsistent, not temporary. One of the hardest but most powerful shifts you can make is moving from chasing someone else to choosing yourself. Chasing comes from a place of fear, the fear of losing someone, the fear of not being enough, the fear that this might be your only chance at love. So you run after attention, after validation, after moments that feel good but never truly last. You start adjusting yourself, lowering your standards, and accepting behavior you once said you never would, all in the hope that if you just try a little harder, they will finally see your worth. But the truth is, the more you chase, the more you forget who you are. You begin to measure your value based on how someone else responds to you. If they text back, you feel important. If they pull away, you feel rejected. Your emotions become tied to their inconsistency, and slowly you lose your sense of control. That's not love, that's dependency, and it drains you in ways you don't even realize until you step back and see how much of yourself you've given away. Choosing yourself is different. It's not about arrogance or selfishness, it's about self-respect. It's about recognizing that your time, your energy, and your heart are valuable and not everyone deserves access to them. When you choose yourself, you stop running after people who are unsure about you. You stop trying to convince someone to see your value because you already see it within yourself. This doesn't mean you won't care or won't feel deeply. It means you won't abandon yourself in the process of caring for someone else. You won't ignore red flags just because you like how they make you feel in certain moments. You won't settle for inconsistency just because you're afraid of being alone. Instead, you create boundaries. You decide what you will accept and what you won't, and you stand by those decisions, even when it's uncomfortable. When you truly choose yourself, something shifts. You no longer feel the need to chase because you understand that the right person will meet you where you are. They won't require you to shrink, to beg, or to prove your worth. They will recognize it naturally without you having to fight for their attention or affection. And in that space, you begin to feel a sense of peace that chasing could never give you. The actions have a way of revealing the truth that words often try to hide. Anyone can say the right things in the moment. They can tell you how much you mean to them, how busy they are, how they plan to do better, how they don't want to lose you. But if those words are not backed by consistent behavior, they lose their value over time. Because real feelings don't just speak, they show up, they follow through, they remain steady even when it's not convenient. It's easy to get caught up in what someone says, especially when it sounds good and gives you hope. Words can create an emotional illusion, making you believe that something deeper is there, even when the reality doesn't match. You hold on to promises, you replay conversations in your mind, and you convince yourself that change is coming. But the truth is always in what they repeatedly do, not what they occasionally say. If someone tells you they care but disappears for days without explanation, their actions are speaking louder than their words. If they say they want to see you but never make concrete plans, their behavior is giving you the real answer. If they claim you're important but only show up when it's convenient for them, that inconsistency is the truth you need to pay attention to. Actions don't get confused. They don't send mixed signals. They are direct and honest, even when they're disappointing. Consistency is what separates genuine interest from empty talk. Anyone can show effort once or twice, but it takes real intention to show up again and again. It takes real care to be reliable, to keep promises, to be present not just when it's easy, but also when it requires effort. That's where true feelings are revealed, not in grand statements, but in repeated behavior over time. When you start focusing on actions instead of words, you gain clarity. You stop being misled by potential and start seeing reality for what it is. You no longer wait around for someone to become who they said they would be, because you accept who they are showing you right now, and that awareness protects you. It keeps you from investing your energy into something that isn't being equally invested in. At some point, you have to trust what you see more than what you hear, because words can be shaped to sound right, but actions are much harder to fake consistently.